Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stamp It Up with Jamie. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight sharing another live tutorial project. If you're catching this on replay, thank you so much for watching. Have a peek around, and you're certainly ask if you have any questions either through email, or you can get a hold of me on like social media. That would work as well. And I'm just gonna pull up comments here quickly. It won't take me long. There we go. Okay, so tonight's card is one that I kind of fiddled around with a little bit yesterday, and I like it because, well, it uses these really pretty dies here that kind of make a cascading flower. And I'm not gonna lie, in the very beginning when I saw them, I was a little intimidated by them, and so I kind of went off of how Stampin' Up! Did it in their catalog in the January to June 2020 mini catalog. That's quite the tongue twister. But I kind of went off of their inspiration, but these are like my colors. They, I think, used pink. So hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Hello. So I'm just going to dive right in, and what you might not be able to tell, well, maybe you can, but it's actually has a belly band that goes around it. So this piece actually slides right off, which I thought was kind of fun because this, I think, is kind of like the showstopper, and the fact that it kind of like can move on the card makes it a little bit, I don't know, fun and different. The ribbon here was kind of an afterthought, and honestly, right before I was going live, I'm like, should I pull it off? Because I'm still not sold on it. So you let me know if you think the ribbon detail is nice, or I would be happy to just leave it off. The other thing that I wanted to say is, well, here, let me start here. My sentiment comes from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. It's the thank you right down here. It's an all sentiment stamp set, again, from the mini catalog that's live right now. And I had a stamp class yesterday, and the ladies were talking about how they are always in need of, and don't ever seem to have enough of, sympathy cards. And so as I was designing today's card, I personally needed a thank you card, so I made it that. But I also think the design would work very well as a sympathy card. And actually, the sentiment here, the with deepest sympathy, would fit perfectly in this corner right here. And so easily could be made into a birthday card, sympathy card, congratulations card, just about any sort of occasion that you need. You can probably work it, and certainly change out the colors. If purple isn't your thing, certainly go with pinks or any other color really would work. But I thought purple was pretty. I usually go pink. Pink is kind of like my go-to, and so I thought, no, we're gonna switch it up a little bit today, and I went with purple. Oh, you like the ribbon? Okay, then we'll leave it on. I wasn't sure if it was just, I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was too much. So let's just let's get started here. My card base here is Heather. I almost said Heather Highland. That's not right. Highland Heather cardstock. So it's our 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 down the middle. And then I have a separate piece that is the card front itself. It's 4 1/4 by 5.5, and I'm just going to adhere that over the top. Now, anytime that I have embossed something, sometimes I'll adhere it down using tear and tape, just because snail sometimes just doesn't hold it down if there's a lot of texture on it. But I find with the Subtles embossing folder, it's not too much texture to it, so as long as you apply snail generously, it will do the job. You like the ribbon, but maybe it blends too much. That's kind of what I was thinking, Heather. I wasn't sure. I actually wasn't sure if it kind of took away from the cascading flowers. I don't know. Think about it. Think about it. Let me know. Think about it. Okay, so that's our card front here. Let me show you the dies I'm working with. I pulled out the new Stitched So Sweetly dies. Again, this is from the new mini catalog. And when I first opened up the catalog, my goodness, I knew I wanted these dies, but I wasn't quite so sure about the stamp set, and I didn't order it as the bundle. But as I was playing along, I'm like, I really need that stamp set too. So that's been remedied. I ordered that today, but for now, all I have are the dies here. But these are absolutely gorgeous. We have some stitched scalloped rectangle dies, and of course those can be layered or used individually on their own. And then we have these kind of stitched layering dies, which are, again, you can use by itself or you can layer them up. Really, really beautiful, nice detail. I used this on one of my cards yesterday in my card class, and the ladies definitely liked it. So for me, this is like must have. Very vanilla scallop lace. The ones with I think I don't know if I have that. I'd have to look, Heather. I can look. But would you do very vanilla? Because everything else is Whisper White. Yeah, we'll think about it. So what I use is the largest rectangle here, and I cut out a Whisper White piece. So that's sort of the base to my flower that we're going to do. Then I used the Cherry Blossoms dies, and they look like this. There's a lot to them, and again, I think that's why I was a little intimidated. I think that's the word, because I was just like, oh my goodness, where do you begin? How do you even know to like layer these up, and how do they work together? But again, I just opened up my catalog and I was really inspired by how they did it. Stampin' Up meaning. And so what we're going to use tonight, let me walk you through. There's a couple different, there's like 3 size flowers. There's a larger flower, and there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only using 3, but there are 4 of the larger ones. Then there's a medium one, which is this guy over here, and he cuts 2 out at once. Then there's the tiniest one, and he cuts out 2 at once as well. There's also 3 sizes of leaves. So we have larger leaves here, which cut out 2. These are the medium ones, and then these ones are like itty bitty leaves. They're so stinking cute. They're really adorable. Hi, Lori. It doesn't take away from the cascading flower. Okay, I can leave it on. And then we have this over here are like the little inside bits, the little, what's that called? Who are my flower lovers? I don't know what that's called. The little inside part of the flower. So you can cut out 2 at the one time. And then this little guy here is the kind of cascading background here. That's that guy there. And then there's some other flowers that coordinate with the stamp set that it goes with. But this, I just use these flowers to kind of piece together, so to speak, my cascading flowers. So let me go. This is going to be kind of hard to pick up. They're so little, these little pieces. Okay. So I cut out like this branch. Do you want to? Middle of the flower. Stamen, there you go. I knew someone would know the word. I'm like inside part of the flower. At least Amy gets me, middle of the flower. I cut this little piece out here in soft suede cardstock, and I'm going to adhere him down first. I'm using the fine tip glue pen. Hopefully it doesn't make a huge mess everywhere. Oop. And yep, there we go. Whoa, that comes out fast. Just like, I like the fine tip. I also have just regular liquid glue here because I think I might use that for the flowers instead. So I kind of have it going like that. Quite honestly, you don't see this, at least in my card, because I used so many flowers. You don't necessarily see it, but it gives you kind of like a starting point as to how to arrange your flowers when you go to start layering them up and adhering them down. So let's, while I have my glue out, let's go put the middle part of the flower, the stamen, into my flower. So again, there's 4 sizes of the big flowers. I'm only using 3, and they are different shapes. They do have a different, they're not identical. There are 4 different flowers. And I don't know, maybe they're supposed to go a very particular way. I didn't overthink it. I literally just put glue and then kind of had it shooting out from the flowers. Again, I don't know. I do not have a green thumb at all. My mom does, my dad does. I kill flowers. I don't have patience for them. So all this technical stuff, I'm just like, throw it on there. So that's the middle pieces there. And these ones I did adhere down with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to start with anyone. I don't know. I don't think it really matters which one you start with. Just pick one that you like. And I started with the first one kind of at the top, like the curve here. So like there. Then, oops, I took another one and peeled it off. And this guy I sort of like tucked under a little bit, like that. Here's the thing, this card is not going to come out exactly like my example. There's no way, because I literally just kind of played with it, played with the flowers. It's not like I was super precise about it, which is fine. I think I want this guy like that. I don't think I want all the middles going the same direction. So like that, which is kind of fun because then the flowers kind of overhang a little bit, which is nice. Okay, so let's keep going. So I cut out 2 of the middle sizes. Oh, by the way, I didn't even say, might be helpful, this is Purple Posy cardstock. So as we know, Purple Posy ink pad has been discontinued and the refills. However, the cardstock is still orderable and it's beautiful. I love the color. I think it complements really nicely with the Highland Heather. It's just like a nice soft purple. So I'm using it tonight. I know it's probably, I don't know, maybe people have mixed feelings about it, but just generally speaking, I like the color. So we're going with it. Okay, so the middle ones, I'm using the mini dimensionals. So you're going to look at this and say, how are you going to get a dimensional on that? And I would say, you're right. It's going to be rough. So I'm going to find just one of the petals here and put it down. Now it's going to poke through. You can see it. That little piece is under one of my other petals so that you don't see the little bit. Oops. Does that make sense? So the dimensional is like right under there. It's hidden. You can't see it, but there is a dimensional on them. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Maybe I'll put a dimensional on this side. He's sticking out. You can see him. He's poking through the other side, but I'm going to hide it by sort of tucking it under the other one. So he's kind of, looks almost like he's floating, because if I were to put one in there, you would see it. So I just kind of leave it out. Then I cut 4, so I ran it through twice, 4 of the smallest flowers. These guys are so cute. I would love to see these maybe on like a wreath. If someone were to put all the... Did it freeze for everyone else? I'm live on my computer, Terry. Maybe it froze for a little bit. Am I back? You'll have to let me know. Actually, this one I'm going to use regular glue. Let me know if you can see me. I'm live on my end. Oops. This one I'm just going to use the regular white liquid glue because I find it dries a little faster. It's good for you. Okay. I wasn't really... Oh, for a second, Heather, it went out? Okay. We've been having troubles with our internet lately, which is so weird because we never do. And all of a sudden it's like choppy. It'll just go completely out. And then we have to like restart it and it comes back, but it's really annoying. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so for the smallest one, I'm just using the green liquid glue. I find it dries a little bit faster than the other one. And it's a little bit more user-friendly. I don't know. I'm using it because that's the one I wanted to use. And these little guys, I'm just having kind of sort of extend out from the branch. You know, it went from large, now medium, and then these are the little ones. They're really cute. I think I'm going to make a wreath with them one day. Cause can you imagine them in lots of colors, like in a circle? Maybe different like hues of like pink, because I do like pink. It is my go-to flower color. Okay. So that's what we have with our flowers. And I like it like that. But I think what really makes it pop are these beautiful, they're so tiny, little tiny leaves. Now I cut these leaves out of, I like the green blue better too. I like the green blue. Oh, glue. Did you try to, I'm like green blue, green glue. Yeah, I do too. So these I cut out of Pear Pizzazz cardstock and I cut 2 sizes. So again, there's like a large, a medium, and a small. And I cut 2 of both, of each. And I'm gonna glue them down somehow. There wasn't really much rhyme or reason. I just kind of looked for like maybe where there was kind of a, did I just glue that one up? No, I didn't. I thought I glued it upside down. Where there was like kind of a blank spot, like maybe a pop of color would be nice. No worries. I'm like green, blue. I'm not using either of I'm not using blue. And then I realized. Okay, so that's a large and that's a medium. This one here is the large, another large. So again, I have 2 of each. And sometimes it's a little hard to get them in depending on where your dimensionals are. So just kind of play around with it. And you're bad on your phone. Have you ever, I think I've done it with you where like you type something and it comes out wrong and you're like, oh, sorry, autocorrect. And then you keep typing it wrong and you're like, ah. And then the littlest leaf, these ones are so cute. Oh my goodness. They're like itty bitty. So, so cute. They're even a little hard to, if you had like a picker-upper would be helpful. That's a technical term, by the way. Picker-upper. Have him going in there. And then one last one. Whoops. And I'm back. Huh. I don't know, Terry. Everyone, I think, I don't know, is it just on your end maybe? Everyone else was saying they heard me. Gotta love technology. Okay. So, and then that's what we have. And again, if you wanted to add more leaves, you add more leaves. If you want to more color, more flowers, just go for it. I kind of left it because I like less color more. I tend not to use more than 3 colors in a card, like max 4. So I kind of left it just purple posy. I didn't tell you the insides here are crumb cake. The big branch is soft suede, and then my leaves are pear pizzazz. I'm not sure if I said that. I don't think I did. So take your pick tool. I actually don't have it. Terry, I know. We've been through this. I know. It's so bad. I know. And there's no excuse really. Except stamps are more fun than tools. You think it was your end? Okay. Oh, it was Heather that said it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't have one, Heather. It's so bad. Okay, so next thing I did is I just took my pearls because I thought it needed just a little bit of like a soft touch and a nice accent, like little details. And I'm just adding some pearls kind of on either side of the card, meaning top and bottom. So those are all small ones, and then I'm going to add one medium one, and then one more small one. There we go. You know what I should have done? Oh, this is going to be bad. I should have done my sentiment first. So rewind this and tell yourself, stamp the sentiment first. Because if it comes out bad, then we're going to have to figure something out. Okay. So the sentiment, again, if you missed it, is the peaceful moments. Again, I think it would be great with the sympathy one, but I am using the thank you card because I needed thank you cards. And I am stamping it because we don't have the purple posy, which I probably wouldn't have stamped in anyways. But I am stamping it in Highland Heather. And oh golly, hopefully this doesn't come out really crooked or I'm like gonna wing something here. So note to self, always stamp first, just in case it doesn't come out right. You wouldn't have done all that work and then not have it look right. Okay, we're good. Whew. So that's our thank you. Okay. So we're going to set this aside where I'm going to do the belly band quickly. So you need a piece of, well, I used crumb cake cardstock. This is 2.5 by 10. And then I scored it at 2 3/4 and 7 by 1/8. Now here's the thing. When I initially designed the card, I didn't have the extra piece of cardstock on the front. It was just, I didn't have the embossed cardstock. So it was a little thinner. So it's a little snug. I can get it in and out, but it is a little snug. So if you want it a little looser, I would suggest scoring it maybe 2 3/4 by 7 1/4. But I don't know, it works. And I'd rather have it a little on the snug side than too loose and it's just like falling off. So to secure it, I'm just going to use some tear and tape. I'm going to put one on the inside and one on the outside. They're just going to overlap. So peel it. Oh my goodness, I can't get it. There we go. peel that one, and then peel this one. And here's another trick. If you're doing a belly band, don't like put them super flat and adhere them. Like leave it a little loose until they just kind of grab each other. And then that'll also give you like a little bit of a bend. If you close it, it'll be super tight. Okay. Now, when you're doing a belly band, the seam goes up so that nobody sees it. So that when you look in the back, you don't see the seam. The seam is under here. That may seem obvious, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. I just assume, tell you the tricks. So see how it's a little snug? I guess I probably could have gone 1/8, but it works. It's just a little on the snug side. Okay. Where's my ribbon? Do we want to do ribbon? Yes, ribbon. Is it a go? If it is, I'll just go ahead and do it. I don't have the only other, let's see what I have. Let's see what I have. I have the Try purple, but I think that might just be a little too much for, because it's kind of like soft. I had this, which is Gorgeous Grape, even though I don't have any Gorgeous Grape, but it is a purple. Let's see. I don't really like that. Or should we just go with that one? I think that's what we may have to just go with that one or leave it off. I think we should just go with it. So I didn't tie ribbon because they can be challenging, especially with this ribbon with the linen. It could really be challenging. So I just did a knot. So I just eyeballed it. I don't know. This is actually, do you want to know how much this is? This is like 14.5 inches. I'm going to have enough. I'll have to trim it down, but better to have enough and trim than to not. And then you're like fiddling and not having enough to tie it. Even this is a little tight. I had a scrap piece, so that's what I'm using. But I suppose it would have been a little easier to start with so maybe like 15 inches or even 16. Okay. So there's my knot. And this one is one-sided, so I just kind of like to finagle the ribbon to make sure that the colored side is up, so you see the purple posy. And then normally I like to leave my ribbon tails really long, but I gave it a nice trim. I might even trim that a little bit more, quite honestly. Okay. And then here's the thing. Don't worry about getting it situated because you can like move this anywhere. As long as it's not glued down, you can kind of shimmy it around and make it work. Where's my, oh gee willikers, it's right in front of my face. So it'll be, see, I almost want that over a little. That's why I wasn't sure, because it kind of like, well, I do like it. I like the soft touch, soft look of the ribbon. Okay, so it's like that. Now, when I did the card, I had adhered it down with just tear and tape. However, and the ribbon was an afterthought. So now that I know I'm using the ribbon, I think I'm going to use dimensionals to put it down, because with the ribbon, it can get a little tricky. And I think I'm going to adhere that ribbon down. Hi, Diane. Long time no see. So I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape down just to keep it snug. I've just flipped it over and put a piece underneath, because I really want it to lay flat. Okay. And then I think I'm going to adhere this down with dimensionals. I did it in my sample, but again, because of that ribbon, it can be a little tricky. You know, getting it to lay flat. Oh, yeah, that's right. Is that right? Does that look even? And then we'll just peel them. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like it. I fiddled and fiddled and fiddled, and this is what I came up with. Okay, so eyeball it, kind of even on the top, even on the bottom, and then just go for it. There we go. So again, that'll slide off. and then you could have a nice sentiment in the inside. Or I usually don't do a sentiment in the inside because I like to write a lot, but I know some people are big sentiment on the inside people. And then that just slides back on. I think I'm gonna should I trim that a little bit more? It's like the heart, you know, like once you trim one side and then you trim the other side, and then before you have like no heart left. But I just kind of wanted a soft detail, not like it was gonna take over the card. So there we go. Okay, so if you've been watching and you have yet to leave a comment and you would like a chance to win this card here, certainly do so. As soon as I get off here, I will draw a name for someone to receive the card. If you have any questions at all about any of the product I used or dimensions, I know sometimes I forget to give them, but certainly reach out to me and let me know. And that's it for tonight. Thank you everyone for spending your night with me and for crafting with me, and I will see you all back next week. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.